She cradled the warm coffee mug in her hands, but the heat did nothing to thaw the cold that had settled inside her. The kitchen was silent except for the faint hum of the refrigerator, a sharp contrast to the noise in her mind. Across from her husband sat glued to his phone, unaware, uninterested. Another breakfast, another moment shared in complete silence. There had been a time when she tried to fill the space, asking about his day, his plans, anything to stay connected. But his answers had grown shorter, more distracted, as if responding to her was an afterthought. Eventually, she gave up trying. Her phone buzzed on the table. She paused before reaching for it, glancing at her husband, who didn't even look up. She unlocked the screen. "Hope your morning's going better than mine. Traffic's already insane." A smile crept onto her face before she could stop it. Her thumbs hovered, then typed back. "You always get stuck. Maybe leave earlier." The response was quick, but then who would I complain to? A quiet laugh escaped her. Just harmless banter. They'd been friends for years, long before she ever met her husband. It wasn't wrong to talk to him. Not really. But when her husband finally looked up, she instinctively locked her phone and felt an unexpected stab of guilt. "I'll be home late," he said flatly, standing. "Don't wait up," she nodded. No kiss, no goodbye, just words tossed out. Like a roommate checking a schedule, once he was gone, the house felt lighter. Emptier, but lighter. A new message appeared. Lunch. She knew she shouldn't, but she wanted to. An hour later, she sat across from him in their usual cafe, stirring her iced tea absent-mindedly. "You always do that when you're lost in thought," he said, amused. "Old habit," she smiled. He studied her for a moment. "You okay?" She hesitated. No point lying. He knew her too well. "I don't know. Talk to me." She wanted to. She wanted to pour it all out. How lonely she felt. How her marriage had faded into routine. How some days she felt like a ghost in her own life. But instead, she simply said, "It's nothing." He didn't press. He never did. That's what made him different. He didn't push. He just listened. As they left the cafe, they both reached for the door at the same time. Their hands brushed. Just a moment, but it sent a jolt through her, something she hadn't felt in a long time. Their eyes met, and for a breath, everything else faded. He cleared his throat. "I should get back." "Yeah, me too." Driving home, her mind replayed that tiny touch. It had been nothing, but it stayed with her. That night, lying beside her husband, his back turned. Already asleep, she picked up her phone without thinking. "I had a good time today." "Me too," she hesitated. "Good night, sweet dreams." She placed her phone down and closed her eyes, but sleep didn't come. Not with the ghost of that touch still tingling on her skin. Rain whispered against the window as she sat alone on the couch, tea in hand. Her husband was still at work like every other night recently. Her phone buzzed. "How's your night?" She already knew who it was. "Quiet. Just me and my tea. Sounds lonely." Her chest ached at the truth in those words. Before she could second-guess herself, she typed, "Want to go for a drive? Be there in 10?" Her coat was on before she could stop herself. She knew this was reckless. But she didn't stop. When she slid into his car, he smiled. "Couldn't stay away, huh?" "Just needed air," she said, but her voice betrayed something deeper. They drove in easy silence, city lights blurring. Past. Eventually he pulled into a quiet lakeside lot. The rain had slowed. The lake shimmered under street lamps. "I used to come here a lot," she murmured. "Why'd you stop?" Life got in the way. He turned toward her. "You don't seem happy." Her hands clenched. "I'm fine." "You don't have to lie to me." She looked at him. "The dam cracking. I don't know who I am anymore. I go through the motions, but inside, I feel empty." He looked down. "He doesn't see you, does he?" Her breath hitched. It wasn't a question. It was the truth. "I don't think he even notices I'm still here," she whispered. He gently brushed his fingers over hers. She should have pulled away. She didn't. "You're still here," he said quietly, "even if he doesn't see it." She met his gaze and something deep inside her broke open. "Then why do I feel so invisible?" she asked. "You're not invisible to me." The air shifted, fragile, electric. She knew she should stop this, but when he reached up, brushing a strand of hair from her face, she didn't move. And when he kissed her, she didn't stop him. Later, as they sat in silence, his forehead rested against hers. He whispered, "Tell me to stop." She couldn't. "I don't know how to." His jaw tensed. "This isn't fair to you." She laughed bitterly. "And my marriage is." They both knew the answer. "I don't even remember the last time I felt something," she admitted. "And now?" He asked. "I feel everything." He didn't kiss her again. Not yet. He just held her forehead to forehead. "Tell me what you want." Her voice trembled. "To forget. Just for a little while. This time when they kissed, it was deeper. No hesitation. A release. A surrender. For once, she didn't feel numb, she felt alive. The drive home was silent. No questions, no apologies. They both understood the truth was messy. When they reached her house, he held her hand for a moment. You don't have to go back in. I do. You're not alone in this. It feels like I am. Inside, everything was dark. Her husband slept, his back to her as always. She lay beside him, staring at the ceiling, knowing she had crossed a line and there was no going back. Morning light crept in. Her husband hadn't stirred when she came in, hadn't noticed her long silence. She looked at him. All that space between them, even in the same bed. Her phone buzzed. Did you sleep? She hesitated. Not much. Me neither. The ache in her chest grew. She shouldn't feel this way, but she did. Her husband got up, barely acknowledging her. Morning, she offered. Morning, he muttered, heading to the bathroom. She made coffee, went through the motions. When he sat down, eyes on his phone, she tried. I thought maybe we could go out tonight. I'll be home late. Rescheduled meeting, of course. He stood, grabbed his keys. See you later. Have a good day. The door closed behind him. She exhaled, hands gripping the counter. Her phone was in her hand before she could think. Are you free? For you always? An hour later, she was in his car again. Same warmth, same silence full of meaning. He didn't ask why. He already knew. She stared out the window. Tell me this gets easier. He didn't look at her. Do you want it to? I don't know. But deep down, she did. And that terrified her.